Part of the Jewish faith is a term known as tikkun olam, which is to repair the world, to make the world a better place, to light up the darkness. And I always consider each and every one of our service members to be a point of light, lighting up the darkness around the world. All the missions that you're involved in are supporting lighting up the world, repairing the world, making it a better place than we found it. My own family, as I mentioned, lived in a small village called Krinky, which at the time was in Belarus. I mentioned that the Nazis had entered there around November, December of 1941 and started executing people. Approximately a year later, they liquidated the ghetto. Members of my family, some escaped and eventually made their way to Israel. Others went to Argentina. But listening to these stories from my grandparents and from some relatives who were historians and hearing their story, always had a deep sense of gratitude toward being in this country, being a part of, having the freedom to practice my faith, to go to synagogue, and not have to worry about being rounded up. And I've always had such a deep, inbound sense of gratitude to this great nation. Okay, I thought I would just take a brief opportunity to hear a little bit about Cantor Hauben's story. Those of you who have seen the movie Schindler's List, it came out about 20-something years ago. The actual concentration camp where Amos Gottlieb was at, the Cantor was actually there. So his author and historian, Bill, if you'd like to come up and just say a few words about Cantor Hauben's experience.
It's a great privilege to be here with you all. And this is very, very special. You don't realize what this man.
I am not able to speak. I am actually to sit down with this my moment. But I'll maybe to the maybe no, I don't know what to accept it for myself. Better my mind.
He's saying a prayer for being here.
What was it?
The Shehekiana.
What?
The Shehekiana, the prayer for being here. That you all
Oh, yeah. I am willing to be revealed to
Rabbi, would you say the prayer with us?
What's that?
The Rabbi, could you say the prayer with us for the Shehekiana? It said when you are at a special place at a special time and you give thanks.
That you have given us life to reach this time, at this time. Amen.
Amen. Cantor William is a gift. He's here to show us the strength. We were in hospitals and we were praying for him to get to his 95th birthday 2 months ago. And if I showed you pictures, it would have been like giving last rites to Jewish people. We were praying for the pathway to heaven. And he came back with the grace of God and Maria and the people that love him, because he has given his life to so many, opened up doors. And I've had the privilege to work with him on this book, Light, Courage, and Hope, about the 10 righteous nations that helped save Jews during the Holocaust. When Cantor was 83 years old, he trudged to Washington, D.C. to meet with these ambassadors of these countries. And I followed suit and finished up on this. We had a reception at the Embassy of Israel in 2010. Was released and published. And the ambassadors from these countries were there at a reception in Washington, D.C. A videotape of faithforhumanity.com. Faith stands for Foundation Acknowledging Individuals Treating Humanity. And they acknowledged the work of their brave citizens, and we provided plaques for them. And Cantor greased the track because this was his mission. His first book is From the Flames, The Miracles and Wonders of Survival, where he depicts all the things that happened in the 5 camps that he survived and what it meant while his family perished. So it is really a story for humanity. And it opened up the door. Maria said that I'm completing a book about my father, Joe Sefekar. It's called American Dreamer, a look into the life of my father, Joe Baby Sefekar. He wrote it, they did it, he saved it. And I was showing Officer Lowe, my dad had a remarkable story of war hero. He built the Hirschman Museum on the Capitol Mall near the Air and Space Museum. And then he retired, came to from Washington to Florida, and was chief finance officer for Ruth Eckerd Hall, and saw that being built. But he had everything, he wrote everything, he saved everything, and he was with the headquarters for the Continental Air Command. I just want to, this is March 1959 with a letter of commendation. So he can identify with you. The chapter 4 about the war is amazing. He was with the 1st Army Rear Echelon, and they were at Buchenwald when they liberated that. So, and we have relatives in our own family in Greece that were in concentration camps that we wrote about.
I want to thank you for telling your story and for telling Cantor Hauben's story. Again, we're every day that goes by, we're losing the greatest generation, including our survivors. And I would just like to recognize Cantor Hauben with a big round of applause. Thank you for being here and telling the story. One final note we have, I just wanted to recognize Sandy from the Florida Holocaust